What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today's video is super special because it's the last official video in 2019, and it's only fitting that I do kind of a recap of all of my favorite sample libraries dedicated to producing cinematic orchestral music. You might remember that I did one last year where I kind of did, a video on the same topic, but of course this year there's been more libraries that have come out, and it's just it would help to do kind of an updated version of this video. So this is the ultimate guide for 2020. Going into the next year, if you have any of these packages, then you're pretty much well set to make some pretty good music. So we can't really blame the tools. It's due to our own skill and our own improvement, and hopefully, these tools will get you up and running to do that. So just a little warning, just like last year, there's a few developers that I won't really go into just because I don't use those. So Spitfire products, wonderful sound and playable as well, I'm sure. East West with their Hollywood series and all that good stuff. Performance Samples, another good developer. Musical sampling, there's all these, and Aaron Venture, he's a new one as well that's on the block, but a bunch of developers I personally don't use. I'm going to share the ones that I do, and hopefully it helps just a little bit here. And I have something for you at the very end, so please stay tuned for that. It's kind of like a little surprise. So here we go. So let's jump into the all-in-ones and sound design first. And I kind of wanted to start off with some all-encompassing libraries that give you everything in one box. And so I wanted to start with Audio Imperia's Nucleus. So Nucleus is relatively new, and it comes with all the orchestral sections plus some soloists, which is great. So let me just show you an example of some of these sounds. So we have 16 violins. Spiccato. Fits. And some trems. Really nice sound there as well. All right, let's move on to the oboe staccatissimo. So nice tone that cuts through there. 6 horns, really good for that film scoring sound. So they sample some of the low notes, lower dynamics. Let's ride it up. And then some timpani, just for fun. So that one comes with some nice high frequencies that can cut through the mix. And if you don't want that, you can go with the classic mix, which is slightly more of a traditional, classical sound. A little quieter as well, so you can adjust the volume if you like. But the general tone difference is the modern is a little more hyped up, so it's just a nice option to have. Let's move into Time Macro, one of those patches, and beautiful library, large ensembles, and this is one of those evolving patches, so check this out. Gorgeous. Time Micro, so it's smaller ensembles. hear the choir in there seeping in as well. Really nice. All right, indie. So this is a Sonokinetic library, phrase-based. But what's really cool is that each phrase is basically mapped to one key. So if I just click this here, the orange keys are kind of the playable phrases, and then your blue is where you can control the chord or the key of each of those phrases. So let me just play a few keys here for those phrases. So now I'm playing 3 phrases at once. Let's play in a few more. So now with those held, let's change the key. So now I'm playing D minor because I'm playing a D minor triad in the left hand. How about B flat minor, G minor? And then mod wheel is automatically set to the dynamics. So lots of infinite combinations basically. If you click on the word indie, it loads a completely new fresh set of phrases for you. Then another great option is the Orchestra from Sonuscore. So this library has been recently updated to the complete version with strings of winter and all that. But even just the basic engine, you know, you can have some pretty intense rhythmic phrases just from this one thing. So let's just hear this. Right? Let's try some more. So you can see, I mean, the sound, to me, it sounds great. I think they updated it with a cleaner sound as well. But then you go into the animated orchestra and they have, you know, these pre-orchestrated ensembles. Right, so just a very filmic sound to me. I really enjoy that. And there's just so many patches that you can go through. Okay, now Berlin Orchestra Inspire is kind of like the toned down version of the Berlin series, and these are the full orchestral package as well, but it's very light on resources, and it's it has a really good selection. So ensemble, solo instruments, you know, this is the full orchestra sustains. So we're at piano. Let's turn up the wheel. Gorgeous. All right, let's do this. I've also got the contrabassoons playing those bottom notes there. And of course the pretty sure that's a piccolo, but yeah, okay. Let's do Berlin Orchestra 2. Inspire 2 with Violins and Children Choir. So Berlin Inspire 2 is more dedicated towards emotional, beautiful, flowing music, and it's on the softer side of the spectrum. So then you have the Metropolis Arks. So each of these specialized packages is really good for a certain style of trailer music. Arc 1 is very big, very bombastic, very fortissimo. So you hear the vibrato really digging in there. Then the lower side, you have some contrabassoons. I just love the grit in there. Then you have Arc 2. So Arc 2 is lower. It's epic low dynamics. So just listen to these low strings here. Very, very sinister. Wagner tubas. And then finally string orchestra repetitions. So it also and this is I believe Arc 3. So let's see, what do we get here? Oh, probably should go to that track. So Metropolis Ark 3 is not only dedicated to percussion and big, fast, repetitive the orchestra side of things, but it also has these atonal clusters, which is really cool. And I mean, I personally haven't used them because for the style of music I make, I use the percussion and the orchestra, the beating orchestra a lot. But it's just something to know that it's cool to have there. Okay, and for the sound design side of things, let me bring in Elysion. So Elysion is basically Sonuscore's follow-up efforts to the orchestra, and it's kind of the electronic or synth version. It's kind of like a big brother in a way, and so they're designed to work together very well because the engines are so similar. So let me just play what comes out of the box in Elysion here. Right, so, and then these are all the different sounds that are loaded at the moment. So then you can go into here, let's say animated, let's say Mercury Scars, and see what we get here. And then you turn up the mod wheel and you get more and more color. Great thing is you can actually go into each of these loaded sounds and tweak the envelope however you want to. The rate, the repeat, the transpose, the octave, the steps, however many steps you want there to be, and all that good stuff. So that's the sound design library I usually go towards. Then there's also, Serum for your general synth needs and Massive, all that good stuff. But let's continue on. Then we have piano. So now let's bring up Contact, and you probably already know that my go-to piano for sketching and even for final products all the time is CinePiano. So now I love this library because it not only comes with just this classic patch, but it also has a classical patch, which is really good for almost classical piano settings, like in a concert hall. Almost as if you're sitting in the audience and then you're hearing this pianist play some stuff on the stage, which is really cool. Then we have cinematic, so the other side of the spectrum here. And you hear there has a tail there, which is nice. And then Rock Studio. Then we have Piano and Blue. So Piano and Blue is kind of like Cinesample's original piano, and it's really nice for like this jazzy vibe. So it's kind of like this. I'm saying? Like, it has this really laid back type of feel to it, which I really like. Then emotional piano is from, here we go, Sound Iron. And then Frozen Piano features a felt piano. Just turn this up a little bit. Right. And then Elysion, like we mentioned before, this one has a really nice key patch as well, and it's called Keys in Space. Have a listen to this. Now this piano has quite a long tail, so just be careful that you don't play stuff that's too quick on this patch here, or else you'll get a lot of muddiness. But for slower pad type of stuff, it's really, really gorgeous. All right, moving on now, strings. So there's Contact. All right, Cinematic Studio strings, of course. Let's go through a little quicker here. So here we go. As we know, very, very smooth legato, almost buttery, you know. Short notes here. And then you can always play runs using the Marcato patch. So quite a nice accent overlay on top. Then I love Berlin strings, so let's play this a little bit. Let's do some spiccato. Spiccatissimo, I should specify. Playable glissandi is one of the standout features of this library. If I just do a chromatic scale, starting on any note, just listen to this. Right, so each note it's like a cluster of notes. But as I join one to the next, there's this legato function that makes it seamless, and then it sounds like this glissandi being triggered. And the cool thing is, because it's mapped to per notes, you can play it as fast or as slow as you want, so the glissando will be at your desired tempo. Then let's hear some pizzicato. So lots and lots of articulations in this library. I'm only showing a few here. And, I have the tree loaded, but with a close, you can get a little more of a detailed sound. So let's hear some cello legato. Not even Cinematic Studio Strings goes this high C right here. The C above, or two C's above middle C. So C6. I really love that sound. Very, very rich. And then violin's one octave runs up. So So right now it's playing basically the C major scale starting on different notes of the C major scale. Let's do D major. So now suddenly it's a little bit slower. There was some tempo thing that activated, I'm sure. Okay. Then we have CineStrings from CineSamples, and their patch layout is quite interesting. They have all the short articulations and the sustains if you press the pedal down, right? So let's start with the shorts. So the way this works is like the lighter I play, the shorter the short notes. If I press a little harder, you know, you get a slightly longer short, and then harder, you get this marcato type of note there, just like that. And then with the pedal down is legato. So recorded at Sony, and you could choose poly legato if you want to. Cool. Then the cello. So this is, I'm using the Dennis Sands mix at the moment. Then we have CineStrings runs, great runs library. Change the key. Oops. So this is octatonic. Okay. There's the D major. Let's try F major. Now for everyone who's been asking, is it violins only? Yes, I believe it is. Violins 1 and 2 for this library. Unfortunately, they didn't record cello or anything else. Maybe in an update one day we'll see it, but at the moment that's what it is. Okay, and then Afflatus is another string library from Stretz of sampling. So I'm showing you their Scene d'Amour Violins 1 Legato, very popular patch. Really hear the vibrato in that patch there. Spiccato. Spider cello. All right, and that's just a little taster. That's not even like 1% of the library. Okay, let's keep moving along. Now we have Woodwinds. So we have Hollywoodwinds, the classic library I love, and it's really known for its runs. And again, another CineSamples library. Right, and it's tempo synced, but you could also manually adjust it as well. Okay, change the key if I want to. Just classic, just beautiful. Then not many people know they actually have a legato patch. I don't think it's true legato, but you know, it's a scripted legato that serves this function, you know. They have playable patches. So then we have 2D staccato. Chordal trems. Love it. Lydian thirds. Let's have one more pattern here, repeated octaves, in case you need some chugging as well. So there we go. Then let's go into Berlin Woodwinds. So these are the solo instruments we use for ensemble writing. There's Spitfire Woodwinds, which I don't use. There's Auduct Woodwinds. Lots of different choices out there. Cinewinds, of course, from Cinesamples. But let's talk about Berlin for a second. So here's the piccolo. Nice staccato. Here's the flute. Trills. I really love this. Depending on how quickly I release a note, that activates how quickly the triple tongue is being played. Okay. Some runs, so playable run. Oh no, so not playable runs here, but they do have playable runs. Octave runs. Nice. Let's choose another key here. Gorgeous sound. Really beautiful. Oboe. Let's take a look at clarinet. Okay, some staccatos. I really like the bassoon in this library. Bassoon is a really nice full tone. And then let me show you some soloists, dedicated soloists here. You have the solo English horn from the expansion B from Berlin Woodwinds. Oops, I should put it back on. And then on that, just fade away. So expansion B doesn't feature any looping sustains. They're all to the discretion of the performer how long they want to hold it. Then we have the solo oboe from Nucleus. Gorgeous tone. I love the sound of the hull that's recorded in. The flute. and some staccato. And let's hear the clarinet from expansion B as well. Okay, beautiful. So that's the woodwinds there. All right, let's take a look at some of the brass. So let's go into Contact. And let's start with Cinematic Studio Brass. So this is one of those libraries that it's just very playable out of the box. The legato is beautiful, like with Cinematic Studio Strings. So let's just have a listen. Trumpet, very nice romantic tone here. Four horns. So they recorded the lowest dynamics to the highest dynamics. Love that. All right, trumpet ensemble articulations for CineBrass. And then you have legato if you want to. Just love the tone. Just, you know, classic. So the legato is a little bit bumpy, you know, so we can speed it up a little bit, make it a little bit less. Oops, make it a little bit, let's say, less intense here. Sounds a little bit better. Then here we go, some horn rips. Right? Monster low brass. This is in CineBrass Pro. Then you have the longs as well. Beautiful. All right. Then let's do some Berlin brass, another library I love here. So at the top of the mod wheel, it's about an MF at the most, I would say, at the moment. But the short notes are a lot more punchy. There's that tail. And then we have the trumpet staccato. Okay, and some playable runs. So you just have to play really quickly in order to activate those transitions. Because these are basically little short notes that are all joined together, but it's very nimble. So you have to use it in the appropriate context, right? All right, percussion is next. So percussion is kind of like the rhythmic part of the orchestra, right? The part that keeps us in time and just gives us the foundation. Okay, so here we go. This is actually I should pull up contacts first. So let's do that. And I'm starting with CinePerc. CinePerc is the one I go to the most. From Cinesamples again, and I've pulled up the kind of the master patch, so it has a lot of different instruments laid into it. At the bottom we have the timpani, and then we have some tubular bells. Sounds great. So you got, sorry, not timpani, this is the bass drum, my fault. Okay, then we get some toms. Snare. Lots of swells, lots of dynamics, you know? Roll crescendo, right? Then you also get the glockenspiel there. Beautiful. Some timpani, some rolls. So that's the great thing about this. You can start your roll and then ride the mod wheel up, and then the patch will automatically add an accented hit at the end to finish it off. So now you hear there's a lot of low end in there as well, so you'll probably have to EQ that just a little bit there. Very, very bombastic. Cymbals. So these are just manually played in there. Some shorter ones, and then, you know. And then Berlin has their own percussion library, of course. That is, let's see over here, Berlin Percussion. They have their timpani collection as well, the timpani. It's kind of the expansion package. So it sounds a bit like this. More suited towards classical music, I would say. It's not as epic of a sound, you can say that word, for cinematic music. Bass drum. And then we have the yellow keys, which are like rolls. So let's find that. So nice beefy low end there as well. Some toms. Dynamics. Longer crescendo there. Cool. And then Metropolis Ark 3 from Orchestral Tools is kind of this trailer acoustic percussion, so it's beefed up even more. Let's go into there. All right, I love these toms. Right, very, very nice. Timpani ensemble. I think they recorded 3 timpani players at once. Where are we? Oh, it should be lower down, I'm thinking. Oh, here we go. Very nice clean sound. Temp rolls. And then just for a little bit of process percussion, we have Master Sessions from Heavyocity, their low drums. Sounds like this. Nice tail. All right, finally, let's talk about some choir. So, now just a disclaimer here, I don't own any dedicated choir libraries. I use the libraries included in other orchestral packages, and these libraries you'll have already seen before. But there are some dedicated ones, like from Sound Iron. There's one from East West Storm Choir, I think it's called. Stress Out Sampling has their Dominus Choir, I believe. So Cinesamples has Voxos, you know, lots of different choices, dedicated libraries. But in this video, I'm just going to show you the ones that I use here. So we have Nucleus with 5 sopranos. It's a shame they didn't actually record any higher than this or F sharp. But that's okay. Staccatissimo phrases, so you can basically create your own random little phrases. Metropolis Ark 1 has this similar feature there. Some tenors. And then ooh. Phrases. Sounds pretty good. All right, Metropolis Ark 1 has the choir woman legato and is very epic. I think the secret to it is not only you know, a blend of all the voices, but there's also 1 or 2 voices that are sticking up and really penetrating the rest. So it's almost as if it's magnifying one voice and the rest are kind of lifting it up even further. So it gives some definition. Metropolis Ark 2 has their children's choir, which sounds like this. Okay, Ark 3 doesn't have choir. Metropolis Ark 4 has their power legato, and I think 3 singers each for men and women. So. If you watch the walkthrough video for Metropolis Ark 4, you'll know exactly who this guy is that's singing on top of the others. All right, then we have some octave rips as well from the same library. All right, and then time macro and time micro also have choirs. So let's go through a few of these articulations here. Your standard ah, then you have ooh, you have some air sustains. Let's try this one. Cool, and then maybe some noises. Oh, maybe I should click on it, see which keys I can press. That one there. So it's kind of like the clockwork rhythms found in time macro, except with a choir. All right, and then finally, time micro's mixed choir. Na na. No, no. Let's do one more here. Fifth drops. Anyway, you know, I have a lot of fun playing with those. But that is basically a walkthrough of kind of my favorite sample libraries. And this is for creating orchestral music that's, you know, larger than life, very cinematic, very filmic, but it also sounds very authentic and very fresh. The main two developers I end up using, or three, I guess you could say, are Cinematic Studios, so strings and brass, Cinesamples, just a very beautiful Hollywood sound at the Sony scoring stage, and of course Orchestral Tools. Their recording quality is always top notch, and it's just a really beautiful tone that cuts through every single time. Now next year I might do another one as well, and we already know there are some libraries that are coming out that are highly anticipated. Junkie XL Brass is coming out really soon, actually, if not already at the time of this video. And Cinematic Studio Woodwinds should be coming out early next year, we're hoping. So there's a bunch of new guys coming out. Maybe I'll do an update video for those ones. But this is kind of just a comprehensive look at all the different libraries that I use almost on a daily basis. And I hope it made some sense. If it felt like a lot, it might be. It's a lot of libraries. So what I've done is I've actually put together a PDF that you can download for free in the description box right below. So just click on that link. It'll take you over to the sign up form, and just enter your email, download it, and you'll get this multi-page guide just to tell you a summary of all of these libraries I discussed, and even more actually. There are some in there that I didn't discuss in this video today because I don't have those libraries. But based on my thoughts of those libraries, I felt I could, you know, share just a little bit of my opinions on those. So go ahead and download that PDF. It's free for you. You know, I really appreciate you watching. It's the least I can do just for, you know, you guys supporting me and, you know, continuing to watch and leave your requests for what you wanted to see. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I really appreciate, you know, all of your support, like I said. And, you know, if there's libraries that you like to use that I didn't mention in this video, please also leave them down, because hopefully this resource can, you know, let as many people know as possible which libraries are really out there, and everyone's tastes are just a little bit different. So it makes sense that, you know, obviously I didn't name them all. Just leave the ones you like down below, and I'm curious to what you use as well. So thank you very much. It's been a wonderful year. The last video coming up in a few days is going to be a really fun one, and I really hope you enjoy it right in time for Christmas. But that's all I'll say for now. In any case, I will see you in the new year, and it's been a wonderful 2019. Let's have just as good of a 2020, if not even better. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.